Starting in the 1800s, Nintendo has evolved into one of the most adored gaming companies worldwide, offering a lot to the world along its fascinating journey. But behind the joyful worlds and beloved characters of Nintendo lies a story few have dared to explore. So, what is the scary truth about this gaming giant? Given the name Nintendo Kopai, the origins of this story will most likely shock you. It's a story with several defining moments and the skillful, almost desperate moves that reversed Nintendo's business trajectory for the better. At first, the company did quite well in the world of toys and ended up making a huge name for themselves. However, their joy was short-lived when the 70s oil crisis struck, making toy manufacturing way too costly. It was a real blow to their business, forcing them to make a daring pivot into arcade and video games. Back in 1889, it was originally founded as a card company in Kyoto, Japan by Fushijiro Yamauchi. Their main focus was creating and selling a special kind of playing cards called hanafuda, meaning flower cards. These cards were handmade with great care. Surprisingly, they gained a lot of popularity, not just in Kyoto, but all across Japan. The demand grew so rapidly that Yamauchi had to hire assistants to help him mass-produce these cards. However, as Yamauchi neared his retirement, he faced a challenge. He didn't have a son to pass on his business to, which was tradition in Japan. But he didn't let that stop him. Following customs, Yamauchi decided to adopt his son-in-law, Sekiro Kanada. Little did he know that this decision would prove to be pivotal for the future of Nintendo. His son-in-law played a significant role in expanding the company. Under his leadership, Nintendo started producing and distributing various types of cards, going beyond the hanafuda cards they were known for. Fast forwarding to 1956, his grandson, Hiroshi Yamauchi, traveled to the States to meet with the playing card company, the leading manufacturer of playing cards in America. But what Hiroshi discovered was surprising. Despite being the biggest company in the industry, they were working out of a tiny office. It was at that point when he managed to secure the rights to use Disney's beloved characters on Nintendo's playing cards. In a brilliant move, Nintendo took it a step further and created books that explained all the different games Japanese households could play using these new Disney cards. This gave them an incredible response. In fact, they sold over 600,000 units in just the first year. And so, following their successful period in 1962, they decided to go public. As a result, they officially changed their name from Nintendo Playing Card Company Limited to simply Nintendo. With the new money and a strong desire to create new things, Nintendo tried different businesses in the next few years. They attempted various things, like starting a love hotel line, an instant rice food company, a taxi service, and even a vacuum cleaner business. Unfortunately, most of these ventures didn't work out and had to be shut down. But amidst all these attempts, Nintendo decided to explore the world of making toys. Luckily, this turned out to be a big success for them. Considering the preferences and interests of people at that time, their decision to start making toys was a hit and became very popular. This marked a turning point for the company. They had finally discovered their special area and began focusing their efforts on creating innovative and entertaining toys. Still, despite the economic boom happening throughout Japan, Nintendo's stock took an unexpected turn in 1964. Fans, with a fever matching Mario's quest to save Princess Peach, scoured Nintendo's games for years. They've got a hawk-eye for plot holes, hidden hints, and puzzling moments left unexplained by the creators themselves. What's even stranger is that some of these fan theories have turned out to be true, confirmed by Nintendo itself. Take Luigi, for instance. In Luigi's mansion, while he was busy busting ghosts, there was this spooky scene where his shadow appears like it's hanging lifelessly. Did it imply a dark secret? Did Luigi take a drastic step? Or was it just a glitch in the game's shadow effects? Nintendo's lips were sealed on this one, leaving us hanging in the mystery. Then there was Mega Man. Fans cooked up the theory that he was the pioneer Maverick, those robots causing havoc. While he was generally a do-gooder, there was this unusual moment where he seemed to attempt something completely out of character. The game creators may have ignored it, but the fans had a way of making it all fit. And what about Luigi again? He's often the overlooked brother, but oh, there was more to him than meets the eye. With hints from various Mario games, fans believe he's got hidden powers beyond our understanding. They suggested Mario was the only one who could keep Luigi's mega strength in check. These theories go far and wide, some making you wonder, what if? It is true though, some of their games harbor unexpected and at times deliberate dark undertones. These hidden themes give their mature releases a significant impact, hitting harder than if they were on Sony or Microsoft consoles. Nevertheless, Controversy didn't solely revolve around mature games. Certain big releases from Nintendo have caused a stir despite their usual family-friendly image. Consider Mario Party 8, a typical multiplayer minigame fest in the Nintendo realm. Normally packed with cute characters and fun challenges, it surprisingly sparked controversy, but only in the United Kingdom. The issue arose due to some unfortunate word choices in the game's instructions. A term, spastic, used in Kamek's directions, which is considered offensive in the UK, led to the game being recalled. It was later re-released with the word erratic as a replacement. A minor hiccup, but controversy nonetheless. On the other end of the spectrum lay Conker's Bad Fur Day, a heavily controversial project. Coming on the heels of M-rated N64 games like Perfect Dark, this release by Rare took the gaming world by storm. It presented itself as a cheery platformer akin to Banjo-Kazooie, but was a polarizing oddity due to its lewd and crude content. Beginning with a graphic war parody, the game delves into mature sexual themes, a stark contrast from the character's initial appearance in Diddy Kong Racing, leaving audiences quite shocked. Over the years, Nintendo has swiftly acted in response to backlash, making necessary changes, especially in cases of strong controversy. However, some elements that weren't as heavily controversial remained untouched. In June 2018, the World Health Organization announced its intention to officially recognize gaming addiction as a mental health condition. This gaming disorder involves a behavioral pattern where gaming takes precedence over daily activities, persisting despite negative consequences. The WHO's decision to include gaming disorder in the International Classification of Diseases was influenced by the development of treatment programs for gaming addiction globally. This classification aims to raise awareness about the disorder and its associated risks. Not just this, but concerns have been raised about shooter games potentially desensitizing young players to violence. Nintendo's president, Shuntaro Furukawa, briefly addressed video game addiction in an investor Q&A. He outlined measures to combat the issue, emphasizing that Nintendo has taken steps to secure its devices, enabling parents to easily limit and monitor their children's gaming activities. Nintendo has a history of taking legal action to protect its intellectual property from unauthorized use, whether it's coming from unknown individuals or competitors. In one instance, the American gaming giant Valve Corp, which runs the popular PC gaming platform Steam, faced a legal challenge from Nintendo. The bone of contention was the Dolphin emulator, a product available on Steam. This emulator enables users to play classic Nintendo games originally designed for the Wii and GameCube consoles. Although downloading Dolphin itself is not illegal, the unauthorized uploading and downloading of ROMs is against the law. In a recent case, an individual named Bowser was ordered to pay $14.5 million in damages to Nintendo for the illegal distribution of their games. Before the legal action, the Dolphin emulator was available for download from the Steam store. But then, following the company's legal threat, Valve removed the Dolphin emulator from its storefront. As if that wasn't enough, Nintendo sued Blockbuster for reproducing their copyrighted game manuals without permission. In response, Blockbuster ceased this practice and hired third parties to create replacements for any lost or damaged manuals. The lawsuit was ultimately settled by the two parties a year later. But this clearly showed us Nintendo's resolve to protect its intellectual property. The company's approach to addressing criticism in their games has typically leaned towards offering apologies rather than making immediate changes. In the past, they've altered their games only when there seems to be no alternative solution. One notable instance was when Nintendo faced criticism for the absence of same-sex relationships in their games, while other titles were embracing such features. In response, the video game company issued a formal apology, acknowledging the issue and assuring that they were working on addressing it to avoid similar concerns in future releases. They emphasized that their games are primarily intended for entertainment purposes rather than to convey social, cultural, or political messages. The approach of apologizing rather than making immediate changes in response to concerns, especially regarding representation in their games, has sparked criticism amongst fans. Well, while Nintendo's worlds enchant and entertain, it's always worth peeking behind the curtain, remembering that every fairy tale has its darker tales.